I raised her daughter like my own. After they betrayed me, they came back begging. Here's how I handled it. Let me take you back about 4 years ago. Back when I still believed loyalty actually meant something, and when I thought family ties were unbreakable. I was married to Melanie for 15 years. Our life wasn't extravagant. We didn't take fancy vacations or drive luxury cars. But it was steady, or so I believed. I worked as a regional manager at a logistics firm. Not glamorous by any means, but it provided a comfortable life, kept food on the table, paid the bills, and even allowed for the occasional weekend getaway. Melanie worked part-time at a small boutique. When I met her, she already had a daughter, Harper, from a previous relationship. Her biological father had disappeared before she was even born. I never hesitated. I jumped into the role of father, changing diapers, taking her to doctor appointments, cheering her on at school plays, even coaching her youth soccer team when no one else volunteered. I never once called her my stepdaughter. She was mine in every sense but blood. Or so I thought. Fast forward to our 15th wedding anniversary. I had made dinner reservations at the same little restaurant where I'd proposed to Melanie. I'd even bought her a necklace. Simple but meaningful. I got home early, smiling as I walked in the door. I heard her laughing upstairs in our bedroom. I figured she was on the phone with a friend. I didn't think twice. But when I opened the bedroom door, there she was, tangled in bed with some guy who looked barely old enough to rent a car. He couldn't have been older than 25. I was 44. She didn't scream. She didn't scramble to cover herself up. She just stared at me, completely calm, and said, "I was going to tell you." I didn't scream or shout. I didn't say anything at all. I just walked out, sat in my car, and stared into space until the sun went down. The next day, Melanie tried to paint herself as the victim. She said our marriage had been dead for years, and that I was emotionally unavailable. Classic deflection. I didn't argue. I just calmly told her I would be filing for divorce. No begging. No second chances. I was done. That's when the real betrayal hit. The following day, Harper, who was now 18 and preparing for college, called me. I expected sadness, maybe some confusion. But instead I got nothing but venom. "You're being selfish," she snapped. "You're tearing this family apart over a mistake. I thought you loved us." That word cut deeper than anything Melanie had done. I had raised Harper like my own, and she chose to throw me away without even hearing my side. I didn't fight. I didn't argue. I just said, "Good luck in college." Then I called my attorney. The following week, I signed away my parental rights. She wasn't biologically mine, and it was obvious neither of them wanted me in their lives anymore. I gave them exactly what they wanted. I moved into a small apartment downtown, started hitting the gym, lost 30 pounds, found a better job at a global shipping company, nearly doubling my salary. Life didn't magically get easier, but it got better without them dragging me down. And that's when the story really began. Exactly 2 years later, I got a message through LinkedIn of all places. It was Harper. "Hey, I know a lot happened, but I was wondering if we could talk." First I ignored it, but curiosity got the best of me. I replied, "What do you want to talk about?" She asked to meet in person. Against my better judgment, I agreed to meet her at a coffee shop downtown. She looked like a nervous kid waiting for a punishment, fidgeting, eyes downcast. I sat down, waited. "Look," she started. "I just wanted to say, I'm sorry. I didn't say anything." I let her talk. She spilled everything. The guy Melanie left me for, his name was Cody, had been using her from the start. He cheated on her repeatedly, even with girls around Harper's age. He left 6 months later, and Melanie spiraled, lost her job, started drinking. Harper had to work part-time just to pay the electric bill. Then she dropped the real reason she wanted to meet. "I need help," she said, her voice cracking. "I'm behind on tuition. They're going to kick me out if I don't pay by the end of the month. Mom can't help." I leaned back in my chair, staring at her. "You want me to pay your tuition after you called me selfish?" After you and your mother cut me off like I never existed. Tears welled up in her eyes. You're right, she whispered. I didn't understand back then. He nodded. Unfortunately, understanding comes with consequences. I stood, left $10 on the table for my coffee, and as I walked out I said softly, I hope you finish school, but I won't be your backup plan. You made your choice. Now live with it. I didn't hear from her again. Or so I thought. 3 weeks later I got served. Melanie had filed a legal petition claiming I had acted as a de facto parent, and that I had a moral obligation to cover Harper's tuition costs. They argued that because I had taken on the father role for 15 years, I was financially responsible, even though I'd legally terminated parental rights. I laughed when I read it. Full belly-deep laugh. But under the laughter, I burned with rage. These same people discarded me, humiliated me, and then tried to sue me using the love I had shown their daughter. I called my lawyer, the same guy who handled my divorce. A bulldog in court. He reviewed the petition, raised an eyebrow and said, They don't have a case. But if you want, we can hit back. And we did. My lawyer filed a countersuit demanding reimbursement for every cent I'd spent raising Harper. Private school tuition, medical bills, soccer fees, everything. It totaled nearly $200,000. Petty. Maybe. Fair. Absolutely. The hearing was brutal. Melanie tried claiming everything I'd paid was a gift given out of love. But once the judge saw I'd signed away parental rights, with no objection from them, and that Harper had gone no contact after the divorce, he wasn't sympathetic. Their case. Dismissed. Then came my reimbursement claim. Melanie didn't even show up to court. Harper did. She sat on the witness stand trying to look innocent. I didn't know what was happening, she said, her voice shaking. I thought he was abandoning us. My lawyer asked calmly. Did you ever ask him why he divorced your mother? Silence. Did you ever reach out after he moved out? Silence again. Did you ever thank him for raising you? Nothing but a downward stare. Then came the hammer blow. If he wasn't your father when it came to love, why is he your father now that money's involved? Dead silence. The judge didn't grant me the full reimbursement, but he did order Melanie to pay $32,000 for a college trust fund they drained after the divorce without my consent. It bordered on fraud. 2 days later, Harper showed up at my doorstep. No makeup, but hair a mess. Her eyes were swollen from crying. I didn't think it would get this bad, she whispered. I said nothing. My mom's drinking again. She lost her job. We're about to be evicted. I don't care about school anymore. I feel like I lost everything. Then she crumbled, sobbing right there on my front porch. And you know what? For a brief moment the old part of me, the fatherly part, wanted to comfort her, to help her. But then I remembered everything. The betrayal, the selfishness, the courtroom stares. I took a deep breath. I wasn't the one who left, I said quietly. But I'm also not the one you need now. She begged me, pleaded for a loan. I shook my head. I didn't walk away to punish you, Harper. I walked away because you all showed me exactly what I meant to you. And now, I'm protecting the peace I worked so hard to build. I handed her a card, listing a women's shelter and an employment agency. Then I shut the door. Not with anger. Not with cruelty. Just finality. Later I heard Melanie filed for bankruptcy. Harper dropped out of college and now works at a diner across town, sleeping on an old friend's couch. Cody. Arrested for fraud. Funny how life has a way of exposing who was real. And who just wanted what you could give them. As for me, I bought a small house by the lake. Last month I married my fiancé, a woman with no hidden agendas, no baggage and no games. She knows everything about my past, and she loves me anyway. Sometimes the people you save will never remember your sacrifices, but they'll always remember the moment you stop saving them. And that's when the story truly ends.